Good afternoon, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader coming to you on a Thursday, January the 23rd. And we have finally, hopefully, cross your fingers and your toes, but hopefully I have broken this nasty red streak that I've been on. We finally had a green day and very, very choppy market today. Very choppy market. And honestly, the win for me, or the way that I got to green, was by just being super, super careful and being, very, very picky about the setups I took. I also took a gold trade, or not a gold trade, but an oil trade with my funded accounts that worked out okay. So I'll talk about that here in a minute. I talked about that yesterday, but let's just dive into where do I want to start? Let's start with so I did break the accounts into two groups. You can see this top group is at $4 in profit, which is essentially zero, and the bottom group is at $100 in profit per account. And so I did that so that I could take my 940 trade and not risk all of my funded accounts. Now today, the 940 trade did not trigger. We had a lot of volatility, choppy market here this morning, and it simply didn't trigger. I would have taken it if it would have, but it didn't trigger. And I stayed out. Let me just look at, so on NQ today, I took two trades with the bottom 6 or 7 accounts. What is this? From account 74 to 80. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 7 accounts there. I took a long shortly after the 940 marker. My trade didn't trigger because of this red candle. And I when we retested this 900 area, 21,900 area, I thought, man, this is probably going to break out. I went long with 3 contracts, and we tried to go, and we just didn't. And I finally killed the trade with a couple dollars in profit. I don't like it because I think from a 5-to-1 risk per standpoint, this right here, this low is at 897, and I took my profit from a 909 to 910, so 2 points. I didn't do the math on this. I'm kind of doing it now. 909 to, yeah, I'm flirting with that. That's not very good. But anyway, if I get denied, I get denied, so be it. But anyway, I just killed the trade because I didn't like where it was going, and it was the right move to make because this thing completely fell apart, and I would have got stopped out for a big loss. And in this case, I had a very tiny win, basically a break-even trade. I then refrained from trading and just kind of watched. And right here, when we had this big breakout move, I was looking at the overnight going, gosh, we're trading in a channel again. We're just kind of trading in this range. And I said, man, I can't take a trade until we fall below this overnight low, or we break out above this overnight during the night high, like the recent morning highs. And we finally did that here, and there was really I thought for a minute there, this thing's just going to the moon with no option to get in, but it finally did pull back. We had a pullback, and then I went long right here. I made sure that we kind of pushed out of here rather than taking the long. This is a hitchhiker setup, but I waited to make sure that I got a good confirmation before going long. Got out of there with, I had to sit through some drawdown, not really a lot of drawdown, but a little bit of drawdown there, but got out of there for about $27 trade. Nothing much, got my first profit target, and then we just kind of fell apart again, and I did get out of there. So very, very happy with that. And then I did take one other long. Okay, I took 3 trades with those accounts. Right here, when we fell apart on this 970 high, and we bounced off this 900 again, I was looking at this going, we had tested it here. I think this was around the news when Trump was speaking. We tested it there, bounced off of it. We fell apart off the 970, and then when we bounced and I saw these wicks coming in, I thought, man, I have to take this long. I have to try it. And that was the best trade of the day. Very, very nice trade. I had a very low risk. My stop was literally right here, like 8 points, 7 points, and got my first profit target here, and then let it ride all the way up here and got out right at this consolidation. Now, granted, I could have let it ride all the way up. We went right back up to this level. But I was going to take profit where I could, and that trade in itself was about $77, and that put these accounts up to 100. So I was pretty happy with that. I need way more than that to get out of the red month that I'm in, but that's okay. I'm looking for some wins and get some green on the charts and not have all these red days. Now let's look at oil, because that was where I took the trade with the other 5 or 6 accounts. And I've been watching this. Maybe I drew a little channel. This to me, big picture with oil, this is the daily chart. You can see this thing has really been choppy over the last couple of years, but we have pushed out of here and we hit this high and we've fallen back down. And I was looking at this the last couple of days going, well, this looks like we might be, catching the bottom here on this $75 level. And maybe we bounce out of there. And so my thesis was with this trend line, this had pushed out and we're kind of in my mind, we looked like, very, very big picture, but a potential bull flag forming. Now, that may or may not be the case, and I think the jury is still out on that. But I took this long this morning on this pullback in the pre-market. And again, this is the 15-minute chart, and I've really, really enjoyed trading this way. And I didn't get much of a win. I did DCA. I added into this on the pullback. My stop was down here below this level, so I had a pretty big stop, but I was looking for I was really looking for a target up here. Well, I finally took a little bit of profit here just to get out of the trade a little bit because I wasn't happy with the failure to continue to go. But I did get out of that with like $30 some. And then this is when the crude oil inventories came out and Trump speaking, and this thing completely fell apart, and we've just kind of dilly-dallied here. So I'm not sure what this is going to do. Obviously, we'll see if this holds up, and if it does. If it looks like this is going to reclaim and continue to push higher, then I may be looking at continuing to play this a little bit, even with my funded accounts. That was a lot of fun. I was in that trade for a long time. It was very, very stress-free because the price action is pretty slow. And trading on the 15-minute chart, it was just, I don't know, for me, it was easy to just hold that trade. I was in there for, this particular one, 2 hours, basically 2 hours in that trade this morning. So, thankfully I got out when I did, and I avoided the fall apart, but it was just reading the market. So anyway, so that created some profit. And then I went to NQ, and right here I was waiting. This is where I took that trade on the other accounts. And then when we topped this 970 area, pulled back and pushed out of here, I went long again with a single contract, and I was looking for this to break out. And my target was, my thought process was I was targeting these lows right in here. So my target was up here at about the 22,010 area. And this thing just falls apart. And I got stopped out there for a loss of 20 some dollars. That was a little bit frustrating. And then I went over here on ES, and we had kind of break and retest theory here, and I went long right here, and I thought this was going to break out, and it simply didn't. I had a pretty tight stop, but I lost another 20 bucks there, and that put these accounts just slightly red by like a few dollars. And that was a bit frustrating because I really felt like, man, we had touched this level, we pulled down, pulled above it, we tested it, and I thought we were going to go, and it just doesn't look like we're going to. It looks like this is going to be a rejection play on ES. This level up here, it looks like we're going to be falling apart maybe by the end of the day. So we'll see. But then I was going to walk away, and then I watched this market kind of consolidate, and I watched these little wicks here, and I thought, man, kind of similar to right here, very similar, but we were bouncing off VWAP, and I said, man, I've got to take this. I'm just going to jump in for a scalp trade and try to get these accounts back to green. The little bit of red, I think it was like $9 or $8 in red, was really bothering me because I had, a nice green day on the bottom 7 accounts, and I really wanted to get these green. So that was literally just a price action trade. It was not like it was a great setup. I mean, yeah, we bounced off of this, and it was a good long setup, but not one of my typical setups. But I just went in with one contract and got out of there with 15 bucks and brought this back to slightly green. So that's my day. I'm very, very happy with it. It's not a big day, but I'm happy with the management. And I think the biggest thing for me is just being patient, and I need to continue to do that. And the one thing that just kind of in a reflection a little bit is on that 940 trade, when it triggers and it's a loss, I need to just basically treat it like I'm starting from zero and not worry about reclaiming or making back that loss. And I think that's something I've been doing and it's been a bit of a problem. So I need to just, mentally kind of reset that. And honestly, it is a bit more freeing to not trade all of the funded accounts and just trade them in half, basically, 6 and 7, about 50-50. And so if I do have a loss, it's only going to be on one half of them versus all of them. So I don't know. We'll see how that continues to play out. But anyway, happy with today. Happy that we managed to get green even with the choppy, crazy, wild day. Let's look at TradeZella. We have to look at that because we actually have green on here. So that is great. Nice win rate today, 73%. I had 2 losing trades. The rest were winners. Average win to loss was okay. I had a lot of small trades today, so the dollar amounts aren't very big, but the ratio is good. And Zella score is nice, about 88. That's great. And then the biggest thing for me is just seeing green. And isn't this crazy? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays so far this month have just been very, very red. And then we get into Thursdays and Fridays, and it's been a lot better. So is that, am I supposed to be superstitious or something? Kind of interesting. It's not very big green day at all. And, at this point, I'm not really trying to or thinking that I can even get this back to green. Let's look at all the accounts for the month. For the month, we're down 20,000. That's because I still have some U-Profit trades in here. U-Profit, which is a very ugly word to me right now. Very, very ugly word to me. Don't have any of this green. I got the 750 payout, and I don't have the account anymore. So you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. I didn't lose it on trading. That's very, very clear. Definitely do not trade with U-Profit. That is a horrible organization. Anyway, horrible prop firm. But anyway, where was I at? Oh, just talking about the green. The goal for me is just to continue to stay green and try to put together a nice little green run here to round out the month. I'm not going to get this month green, and that's okay. So, but anyway, it is a good day. I'm happy about it. And tomorrow's a new day. It's Friday, and hopefully we can get out of here with another small win tomorrow. So big picture, looking at the daily chart here, we are putting in a red candle today. We've had this big move up off the 100 SMA. This is something I've talked about before, where we've had the 100 SMA. We tested it back here in November. We had the big push out, and we started to pull back and pushed up again. Are we going to duplicate this? I am not sure, obviously, but interesting that we've had this big move up, and then we had a bit of a red day today. So we'll see if this holds and continues to push, or if this little triple top that we're seeing here on the daily pushes this thing back down. So time will tell, but that's things that I'm looking at, trying to get a bias. And obviously today, even though it's a red day, my bias was pretty much long. So anyway, ES very similar. Actually, ES is looking green. I haven't looked at this yet. ES is actually putting in the green day, so maybe this continues to push. Maybe we will have a more of a bullish trend as we get into the month of February. So anyway, that is that. Once again, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate the new subs. If you're new, feel free to like and subscribe. I try to do these updates every day, take you along on my trading journey. And using code BCT, thank you for doing that. Supports me, supports the channel, helps me bring these videos to you on a daily basis. But BCT is the discount code for Apex and Take Profit Trader. Take Profit is right now the best discount code out there that I am aware of, at least on the prop firms that I'm trading. 50% off, and they do not have a daily loss anymore. So not that that is a special that's going away. That's something that they're going to have forever now, I guess. But the 50% off deal is pretty nice. On the eval front, I should show you, I had a pretty good day. Nothing spectacular. This account, I was up 500, but about $100 day on my eval. So just kind of slow and steady. That's really all I care about, is just trying to get slow and steady wins and progress. So that's how I kind of write this red ship that I've been on, the way I feel. So anyway, I've got to stop rambling. This video is already at 14 minutes. So once again, thank you guys. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out, and have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. Let's finish this week on a green note. Take care, and so long.